Hey guys, we're back. Just a few updates here. Our Gruya that we just repotted is doing good so far. There hasn't been any wilting or anything like that, so I've got some high hopes it'll carry on here. The cuttings from that tree are in here. I just got them in water. We'll just see if something happens there with them just in the water. Over here, this is our cutting from the Bert Davy tree. If you remember that one, that was the one that we repotted just before the Gruya. And we have some new growth coming out near the top here on this cutting, and same with part way down the trunk here. So, and the leaves are still on here, looking quite good. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic that we're gonna get a little tree out of this. So that'll be good. And over here, here's the rest of the Bert Davy cuttings. I just stuck them all in this this little tray and put some water in it, and we've got some roots starting here. You can see those small white roots down near the bottoms of the cutting. Yeah, so I'm gonna have some cuttings going on. Got some more here. You can see the white roots just barely starting. And the one really interesting thing out of all these is here's that one root that I did cut off of it. And what's going to be interesting to see is I have some small white roots just starting out at the bottom here, so it's going to be really interesting to see if we're going to get some growth up here. So this was a root, so it'll be interesting to see if we grow anything out of it, and this would eventually be a trunk. So really interesting stuff. So I'll keep you guys updated on this cuttings tray here. We'll see what happens. And back over here on the bench, here's a Bert Davy here, and we have some new growth popping up all over it. So here's some here, there's some on the other side of it, and we have some down here on the trunk right here, and we have another branch that's coming out there. So yeah, and the growth that was already on there continues to grow. So like here, you know, new leaves on this growth here. It's yeah, so it took really well. It's all that heavy pruning and a lot of that root work, so that's great. So it really didn't seem to bother it any at all. Our geranium, it continues to grow since we did a trunk chop on it. So that's good. I think today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at working on a couple Lemon Cypress. So what we'll do is we'll start with the larger one here, the tallest one. We'll take that in there and work on it first. Okay, well, we can do some work outside here today because there's no chance of rain really this morning, at least until we get into the afternoon. So we got a nice spot out here in the corner. So the first thing that we notice is how tall it's grown in this past year. So actually it's yeah, it's been about a year since I last prune these back. So this one here, our tallest one, we're going to be doing some major work to it today. And I guess by now when I talk about some major pruning, you guys pretty much know what I'm going to be getting into. So keeping in mind that these are going to have to go inside in the fall and you know, continue growing over the winter under the lights. So this one here might barely make it underneath the lights, but anyway, it's time. I think we can reduce it more in size now. This one here I'm really basically growing to thicken up the trunk. So we're not going to be doing any detailed work with this one today. This one here, this is the one where we had the single trunk coming up, and then it divides off into two trunks. So I think what we're going to do is we're keeping things simple. So with this being the larger trunk on this side over here, I think what we're going to do is remove that larger extended trunk, and we'll see how it looks after we remove that. So my goal with this one here is to just keep growing it and just thicken up that trunk. That's mainly what my goal is right now, but also keeping in mind about some lower side branches for in the future. But I'm really not looking at anything up on top at this time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take things away back. Right to about here. And that's quite a bit. That's not a bad height there at all. I think we're going to leave it like that. Then we're just going to come in here. We'll just start at the top and just come to the bottom here. I'm not getting overly fussy. I'm just taking things away back. So we're just going to trim up the top. Up at the top here, I'm not too worried about directional pruning right now up near the top, as I am more maybe the bottom with my bottom branches that I would like to start as some side branches. We'll just finish kind of bringing the top back, and then we'll kind of look at the bottom once again. Okay, now if we look at this first side branch coming up, it takes off away up here, but we do have more of a horizontal little branch coming off of this main one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it away back. And now we have this smaller one. And we'll bring this back even further. There we go. So now we actually have a little, you know, we're starting some taper, so it comes up and we're starting into something smaller here. So we'll see what happens there. Same thing in here. We got a thicker part up top here, and we got a thinner one down below. So we're just going to take it back to that thinner one. And we'll reduce that even more. Take that one out. It's kind of growing towards the center a little bit. So that kind of thins things out. And we have them taken off at the top here in two ways here. There we go. Actually, I have we have another one here we could prune back to below this one here. So we're going to go all the way back to that, down to that next one. So let's see what that looks like. There we go. That's a little better. See, we can build some more taper into another branch here. We'll take this all the way back near the bottom. There we go. Just go over to our next one, and the same thing. We'll just bring it back to a lower branch. Now we just got this here, starting there. That's all right. Up here, same thing. We'll take it back to a lower branch. Right there, we'll take this right back. Here we go. That thins things out. And basically, I'm just going to do that for the rest of the tree. Now the rest of it I'm not really overly concerned about, because I mean I might really heavily cut this back in the future. Quite possibly I would. So actually I'm going to cut this one back. So we'll keep this branch here. We'll just take this back. Again, I'm going to go across the top of the branches and take all the vertical growth off. This one here I can prune back to some lower growth. I'm actually going to take this larger one right off because I have some smaller ones coming in, and I'll just use those smaller branches. Like this one right here, you can see. I'll just start some new branching. It's a little congested in there anyways. Same with, we got some dead stuff we'll just take out of here. Now this next branch, we're going to come down on it and take it back to some lower growth. So we cut it off here, and we're going to go with this here. So it's just going to kind of take off on a little bit of a different direction, but not terrible. We'll just take the top off there. And we'll just clear out some dead stuff here. Now you can see we've really thinned things out. I come in here and cut this back. This branch looks like it's dead. Okay, this is looking pretty sparse. But that's okay, we're all set for a new flush of growth. And I might even take that top back a little more than what it is now even. I think we're gonna take this off. There we go. And I think that's it. Then we'll just pick out some of the dead stuff that's left in there. That last one there was just kind of hanging on for dear life. It was kind of half alive and half not. Yeah, in the future we'll likely be taking this back to here somewhere. Maybe down. We might even take her down to here the next time. We'll have to see. But I can start developing some lower branches and we'll just see how things go. I'll just finish taking all these little dead pieces and cuttings out of our pot here. Alright, so we have everything all cleaned up, and this is what we're left with. Not too much. But we're healthy and we're growing, and right now that's what we want. So there is no front for this tree as of yet. And we have some really good cuttings to grow here. Well, to try and grow. Yeah, that one right there would make a good cutting. Oh, a lot of these would really. And then we have this big large one here that come off the top. I could potentially start about 3 good size cuttings with that. So I'm going to try. I'll just put them in bonsai soil though. Sometimes I've tried starting them off in my garden and I've had some success with that. But we're too late in the season for that now, so they could just start rooting in there, and then I would have to put them in a pot, and then winter would be coming in pretty near, so we're going to be putting these in small pots in bonsai soil, and we'll see if we can start some cuttings. Well, that's it for today. We'll work on our other lemon cypress over this next few days, and we'll put this one up on the bench to grow for yet another year. And we'll see you guys back here very soon. Stay safe and have fun, and we'll see you in the next one.